What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of What Joe Thinks. Today, we're gonna take you through a day of what I typically eat in quarantine. My quarantine's ending in the next few days, so I figured, well, why not take you through all the food that I order, the food that I actually do prep for myself, and what I eat on a daily basis. The challenge with this diet, there's a few challenges actually. The first challenge is I'm not moving a whole lot. Typically, when I'm back in the States, I'm moving around, I'm treating patients, doing squats, jumping, lifting, all that stuff with patients. And here, my caloric output or my caloric expense is just really, really low. I still work out as much as I can, typically 5 or 6 times a week, but at most it's maybe half an hour to 45 minutes. Other than that, I'm typically just sitting, going through some paperwork or even doing some stuff on the computer. So there's not a whole lot that I'm doing that's expending a lot of calories. However, I am still eating probably just as much. So I gotta figure out how I can best manage those two things, the calories in versus calories out. So that's one big challenge. A second challenge is I'm not a person who's used to ordering out a whole lot. In the States, I did a lot of meal prep, or eventually I got some meal delivery services. But in terms of just ordering out all the time, it's not something that I'm used to. So eating out all the time actually isn't something that I'm accustomed to. So then as I scroll through each day what I'm about to eat, sometimes it becomes hard to decide because nothing really stands out to me. So for me, I've also had to find ways to try and make that a bit more easy on me to figure out what I need to eat so that I'm not having to choose all the time. I'm not paralyzed by the analysis that I'm trying to do, right? And number 3 is how do I stay healthy? Because a lot of good foods, as you all know, isn't as healthy as they seem to be. For example, one of my favorite snacks here in Taiwan is fried chicken with a lot of other things on the side, or popcorn chicken. However, it's not exactly something healthy to get. So for an example, last weekend I had one of those Saturdays. On the Saturday I said, you know what, I'm going to save a bunch of my calories to eat popcorn chicken at the end of the day. So I ate like fruits and veggies and things in the morning and in the afternoon. And then when I got to dinner, I ordered this big pot of popcorn chicken, ate it all, and I had the worst night's sleep ever in these 2 weeks. And I felt bloated, I felt terrible, I couldn't rest well. If you looked at my Whoop, I went from like being the green down to the red just in one night of eating that much fried chicken. And I was like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. So trick is to also stay healthy as best we can. Now, with all that, what am I eating for breakfast? So typically for breakfast, I try to stay with just 1 or 2 things. Don't want to go too extravagant with breakfast, but for today, I got me some pork and egg rice. I think it's pork chops. It's like oyakodon with chicken and egg, except I think this is pork and egg. Nice and easy, get some calories, get some protein, and it's also really tasty too. And then one of my childhood favorites is also egg pancake or danbing, right? So it is a really thin pancake with some egg, and then there's also some corn inside for this particular one, and then also some chili oil or chili sauce. So that is my breakfast for the day. Now, typically when I am eating breakfast here, I'll go with some form of tea. They'll typically have soy milk with like black tea, or they'll just have milk tea or just black tea. But for these last few days, I figured, hey, I'm gonna go with some coffee to start. So that's been my breakfast today. And I'm gonna dig in. And we have lunch. So after a awesome breakfast, I have my lunch here delivered. This is what I typically get for lunch when I am in quarantine. My go-to, which is a bento. Ta-da! It's, I guess, their form of teriyaki chicken, but it has a sauté sauce on the chicken. My veggies for the day, tofu and rice. And then today was actually the first day I ordered milk tea from an actual tea shop since I've been here in Taiwan. And the tea that I got is Yimu Zhi. I got a black tea latte, which is more milk than it is actual creamer. Good stuff. I got one for tomorrow too. Really cool, really awesome. Excited about this bento. I just realized I didn't talk about pricing for my meals. The last meal that I had, the one that you saw with the rice and the egg pancake, that was, I think, about $6 US. This here is $3 US. Very cool, very excited, and I will be enjoying this now. All right, friends, it is now dinner time. Typically for breakfast and lunch, I'll order food, but for dinner, I'll prepare my own. Number one, to save costs, right? Just so that I don't have to keep buying Uber Eats and having food delivered. Number two, like I said earlier on, like I'm not used to eating out so much. So for me, having the ability to prepare some of my own food is always nicer for me too. So not to say that I am in any way ungrateful for all the great food that's here. Just for me, sometimes it's nice to be able to prepare my own food, and I'm thankful that I have the ability to do so here. Really simple. I just got some food, some groceries. I got some toast, some eggs, and some ham so that I can have my American style breakfast for dinner each night. And then I also got some guavas from the grocery store. Now this is delivered because I can't leave the house. However, it does give me some time to prepare something for myself. Protein, carbs, and then fruits, right? There it is. So that is what it looks like in a day of quarantine eating. Breakfast, ordered some food. Lunch, had a bento. Now at night, I have my own dinner prepared. Typically, at the end of the night, if I have some dessert, if I have a yogurt, or if I have a pudding, I'll also eat that too. But for tonight, I'm gonna go with my guava and just enjoy. Guys, thank you all for sticking with me through quarantine. I have one more day before I am out, but that does not mean that this series has to end. So if you have any other topics you'd like for me to talk about, some things you'd like for me to think about with you, please let me know. Once again, send me feedback. Let me know how else I can maybe help you share some of the burdens of your thoughts. All right? Cool, guys. I'll see you on the next one.